Does it matter?
It does matter. Are you crazy? You don't see anything wrong with what you did? You don't see anything wrong with what you did? You've been lying to me. You've been sitting here lying to me for 11. Of course I love him, but I can't. But you guys can't stay. You can't stay here anymore.
Where we gonna go?
I don't know. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk. You know, I always say a man's money, his time, and his mental capacity are always the three most important things that he has to possess and to give away. I want to bring your attention to a video that a sub sent me, a TikTok.
What's up?
What's up is why you've been lying to me for 11 years, telling me that DJ is my real son. Why you been lying to me?
What have I been lying about?
I got a DNA test done.
A DNA saying what?
Saying that he's not my son.
Let me see this DNA test.
You don't need to see it. I saw it.
How DNA test gonna say?
How you gonna be lying to me for 11 years? Why would you do that to me?
Where's the lie?
The lie is you. You are the lie. You have been lying to me for 11 years, having me believe that my son that I've been raising for 11 years is not really my son. Like, how could you do that to me? Like, what can you say for yourself right now?
What made you get a DNA test?
Because I went through your phone.
And why?
Talking about me, laughing and bragging, telling your friends that I have no idea that he's really not my son. So I went and got a DNA test done. Like, you think I'm stupid or something? Like, how could you do this to me?
You know what?
This individual has just found out that the son that he has raised as his own for the last 11 years is not his. So I always say that these things should never exist. These things should never exist because there should be just mandatory paternity tests. And of course, he found that his girlfriend, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend and not his wife, was talking bad about him to one of her friends, and realized that she was saying he doesn't understand, or he doesn't have no idea that the kid isn't his. I'm not exactly sure if this is a dramatization. It's just actual real events that happen. But what I am sure is that these events happen to folks all the time. I mean, I think we all personally know somebody who's had a scare or had doubts that if a child is theirs. And quite honestly, it's unfair to the entire family, including the man, to even put him in that situation. And that's why I'm a big proponent of mandatory paternity tests.
It's getting to a point where you can't trust anybody, not even your woman. Now you have to verify everything. Specifically, you need to verify that the woman you've been with for all these years has not only been faithful to you, but that the child she is claiming to be yours is in fact yours. Ladies, you understand that men are loving, but you're forcing us to tap into our logical side. We now have to double check, hire attorneys, and get paternity tests, create prenups, because it shows that women and people in general are always out for their own best interests. And in this case, scamming a man. Fellas, air quotes, love can be used as a manipulation tactic against your natural instincts to protect and provide for women, children, and family. In this case, the woman is getting financial and protective support from a man that is not the father of her child. There's something seriously wrong with this. Ladies, can you at least acknowledge, at least empathize where men are coming from? We are not responsible for other people's children when the foundation of that relationship has been based on a lie all along. The relationship with that child, that bond, is a fundamental lie.
You care more about me going through your phone than you lying to me about my son not being mine? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? You care more about being humiliated and me finding out that our son is not really my son and that he has a different father. I sure have, because I thought he was my son. Because you've been lying to me this whole time.
What are you talking about? Does it matter?
It does matter. Are you crazy? What do you mean? That absolutely matters. Like, you don't see anything wrong with what you did? You don't see anything wrong with what you did? You've been lying to me. You've been sitting here lying to me for 11. Of course I love him, but I can't. But you guys can't stay. You can't stay here anymore.
Where we gonna go?
I don't know. It's not my problem. 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 You can't stay here. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. I don't know. It's not my problem. I did my job. I did my job. I did my job as a dad. I did my job as a dad. You can't stay here anymore. Y'all gotta go. Both y'all can't stay anymore. No, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Y'all can't stay here anymore. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta get y'all house. Y'all gotta go. I can't deal with it. I'm putting y'all out. Yes.
Who's gonna put
I'm gonna put you out. I'm gonna put you out. I will pack your bags myself and put you out of here. I will pack your bags. Y'all can't stay here. You gotta go. You lied to me. You lied to me. You lied to me for 11 years.
And you lied
For 11 years straight, you lied to me, having me believe that he's my son. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta get up out of here. You gotta get up out of here. No, I can't look at you. I can't look at, no.
But what I really want to focus in on this clip is the absolute lack of accountability that the lady takes in this situation. You see, regardless of what race the folks fall into, I find that women always have the exact same thing to say when faced with taking a paternity test. They're upset. They don't like it. They feel like it's absolutely ridiculous that they could be accused of this. But the fact is, shout out to Melody King when she was on the JPT podcast, when she said that her friend works at a paternity clinic and up to 40% of the children tested do not belong to the father. Now, Media Man had some great studies saying that it's not exactly, don't get the narrative confused that it's 40% of all children. It's 30 to 40% of people tested. And of course, there's probably some doubt in folks' mind when they test. And it seems like at least 30 to 40% of this is founded. But what I'm really trying to say here is that the lack of accountability that someone takes, what can you really say in this situation? There was no apology. It was just, well, what do you say? You've been taking care of it. We're a family. And it was, well, what's supposed to happen to me and my son? But you don't understand. It's not his responsibility because it's not his son.
She created a lie that lasted over a decade, longer than 2 presidential terms. It's a horrific feeling to discover one day that your child is not really yours, a child that you spent all this energy and your resources, your time, in teaching that boy or girl to become the best individual that they can be. Then one day you find out all of it was a sham, a lie, the scheming manipulation tactics by a woman that you are supposed to love, trust, and protect with your life is one of the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching things that can happen to a man. If the positions were reversed, ladies, I bet your outrage would be out of this world. Who cares what the man feels, right? But somehow men are still shamed into a position when it's not even their child, that he must still take care of that child. Even the courts will order this. The sign language, the signal language is strong in these women that use these manipulation tactics to entrap men. It's a good thing that he recorded this whole interaction with the lady because the next stage of her assault, the assault in this case, will be lies, and then using the court system against him. But if it's really in the heat of the moment, she can use the last form of passive aggression by using force, by calling the police.
Now, I know there's a lot of folks out there who are going to get soft and say, well, maybe this man should have took them in, gave them shelter anyway because he knows them. But honestly, after such a betrayal and holding for 11 years, perhaps this man's mental peace is more important because that's the only thing he has left. You see, when a man takes somebody in, he's sacrificing his money and he's sacrificing his time. And this is something that the average man does willingly. You see, he does this because that's what a man does. He gives his time and his resources to his family. He does what he's supposed to do. He does his job. And women need to stop the cap and stop acting like there's just not a lot of men doing that. When a man gets up early in the morning and he goes to work, he's not enforcing the patriarchy. He's providing for his family. When you go and you face an office for 12 hours with folks you don't really like, human resources, management, meeting after meeting, file after file, and you're doing this. Maybe this guy's an accountant. Maybe this guy's a lawyer. Whatever he's doing, he would much rather be with his family than do that. But he does it because his time and his money are going to the family.
Not all women. I'm going to repeat again, not all women. Shout out to the ladies out there. But modern women's fourth wave feminism, narcissistic like virtual signaling, ultra woke ideology is getting out of control. Even a liberal libertarian like myself finds this behavior and mindset to be destructive to society and the nuclear family. I'm referring to Dennis Sperling's speech on how the black community is a canary in the coal mine to the rest of the people.
This is the modern woman that we're talking about right here. What is it that is symbolic about twerking? What I think this is an objective demonstration of rebellion. We're not going to be modest, loving, chaste, fit, feminine women. No, we're going to be twerkers. We're going to show you we're not going to conform. This is modern woman in full rebellion right here. The danger, here we are, 40 years later, not only are black women doing it, but the rest of the modern women are doing it. White, Hispanic, and Asian. See, it was all fun and games when it was just, that's why I tell you guys, black men and black women, they're the canary in the coal mine. Eventually this will spread all the way around. So although you think it's funny when it's happening to black folks, now you got Hispanic women, Asian women. Well, look at them. Let's keep looking at it. I want y'all to see the modern woman in all her glory. So twerking is no longer just a dance. It's the modern woman's sign of independence. I can do what I want to do. I don't have to conform. It means more now. It's almost like putting your fist in the air. It's a sign of rebellion.
I can see from what I've observed is that these behaviors and mindset are with women of all races. It's spreading like a virus, getting stronger every day, supplanting what used to be a culture where nuclear families were promoted and nurtured. Black African American culture in the United States drives culture all around the world. All forms of African American culture in media like movies, music, style, ideas, great, okay, and bad, shift the direction of the United States, which ultimately shift the direction of the world, whether people like to admit it or not. You can see this around the world where people emulate African American arts and ideas.
In this situation, this man's mental capacity is the most important thing because it's all he has left. So I've seen a lot of comments saying, well, perhaps, maybe he should have just let them stay. Perhaps, maybe, or think about the kid, but no one thinks about the man in this situation. And guess what? I know a lot of men say, well, hey, get a prenuptial agreement if you're married, but a prenuptial agreement does nothing to child support. Word to the lead attorney, he's made this clear. And actually, if you talk to lawyers, they'll say you can't prenup your way out of child support. You know, alimony, yes, you can say no alimony, you can say no legal fees, but child support, that's a totally different bag. This man may, in some states, be on the hook for child support, even though it's not his child. And that's the fallacy when you say there's justice. It's fallacious justice in a legal system for men when it comes to men's rights in the family court system.
Modern day dating and relationships is reverting back to the old ages where marriages and relationships are more practical. This will help us to embrace and express our masculine assertive nature that have been suppressed for so long. And women and society, modern day society, does not like this for some odd reason, even though they are attracted to very masculine and assertive traits in men. I love science and I love spirituality and esoteric teachings, but ladies, let's be real. All this astrology, magical manifesting, new agey beliefs is being twisted and distorted beyond repair. Using new agey beliefs to find your true love is perverting esoteric knowledge that you do not fully grasp and understand. This is especially false when you wield these beliefs like a weapon by manipulating a man into a relationship with you, and then putting him in a position and situation where the kids are not even his, disguising your own intent if you happen to be a woman with these negative traits. And ladies, also, your hypergamous nature, that you're always going to be on the lookout for better. Now, I'm not saying all ladies, but for the most part, this is the biological drive of females. This overrides what you believe true love is. Love is being thrown down so lackadaisical. But when it comes down to it, biology, Mother Nature wins out. So men, get those prenups, get your paternity test, be logical in your relationships. Don't allow your emotions to be manipulated by anyone. And do not let your emotions get the better of you, and do not allow yourself to be shamed and guilted in supporting something that is not yours, whether from a person, society, or a belief you do not adhere to. If you really want to be a stepdaddy, then that's your prerogative, then that's fine. The decision is yours. I'm not against it, but know what you are getting yourself into. Ladies, do not get into your feelings. You need to understand that men have to protect our mental peace, our emotional stability, our energy to be able to tackle the environment, tackle life, and be able to provide for our family with logical and rational decisions driving our actions. In our relationships with you ladies, you may see it as a negative thing, but it really isn't. This protects both parties. This especially protects men. So men can work on themselves becoming better, increasing their own value, getting more profits, more influence, more power, what women are attracted to.
Another thing I want to talk about just briefly, is how women keep women single and women help women make poor choices. You see, there's a whole trend going on of divorce parties where women are saying, hey, they're happy. And you see on TikTok that their friends are happy that they're getting away from this guy. Hey, I never liked him anyway. Oh, he was a loser, or whatever they say. But then I want you to put the two together. I want you to put the two together and wonder why men are not proposing anymore, wondering why men are going their own way, wondering why men are looking in other countries for these relationships. Because look at what they're up against. You don't get to verify that it's your baby. Her friends are against you. She's gonna have a divorce party and celebrate with your money during the divorce. And after all of this, somebody still says, why don't you take care of the baby that's not yours? No, it's not gonna happen.
Men, attract the right kind of woman to you, and the only way to do that is to treat your relationships like how you would run a business. Be logical, be rational, and don't get caught up in the crazy thing called love.
That's all I got for you polite savages, but think of this. Do you really think that this man should take care of his child? Do you really think that this trend of divorce parties and the declining marriage rates, don't you see all of these work together, coupled with the family court system? It's all against the fellas. Hey guys, it's a big game and you're not in it. That's right, it's a big game and you're not in it, but you're forced to pay for it. This is G. We're out. That's all I got for you, you polite savages. Like and subscribe, hit us up on all social media networks. Any suggestions for things that you want us to cover, drop it on the gram, THPP Network, especially from our members. Our TIPTube membership is very affordable. It's like a cup of coffee. And as always, ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? We're out. This is the Happiness Podcast. I'm Grover.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. I'm Scotty.
This motherfucker right here, boy. Leave your comments and like and subscribe on YouTube. Booty in your face. We found true happiness